You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be testing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the Steam Deck. So first of all, thanks to Square Enix for providing a code of the game, and you guys for supporting this channel. How's it going? Welcome. So this is one of those games that actually is verified before it launches. So it's been verified for a couple days. What does verified mean? First of all functionality is accessible using the default controller. This game shows Steam Deck's prompts. In-game interface is legible. The game default graphics performs well on Steam Deck. I think the main takeaway is performs well. I think performs well means it hits 30 FPS with the default settings. We'll see. Some games I usually say, okay, it's verified, but no. So yeah. Okay, it works on the RTX 3050 laptop for Gigabytes. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. So it works on 4 GB cards. That's good news. Remember how Velgard went? Don't remind me. What a day. What a day with Velgard. By the way, I'm launching this for the first time on Steam Deck. It just synced my cloud saves. I played the game a moment ago. You're shocked that isn't the minimum 6 gigs of VRAM? Well, we'll see. Yeah, the 2060 is 6 gigs, but still. Okay, compiling shaders. Most of them should be pre-compiled already. I think that's why it goes so quickly. But still. Nice overlay. Oh yeah, I forgot to put this to the side actually. Before I get copyrighted. Okay, good. Graphics. Okay, so by default, yeah, it's like on the previous one. You are locked to 16:9. Already have VSync. I don't have HDR on. What the hell? Okay, so by default, we're on medium settings with dynamic resolution. Okay, so by default, we're on, again, medium settings with dynamic resolution jumping between 50 and 100%, so between around 360p and 720p. Everything is on high except in textures. We're on TAAU. Okay. This will definitely look better than TAA. Characters displayed 5 with an 8 display shadow level of detail and low resolution font for smaller screens. That's good to see. Excellent. Yeah, the game didn't have a preload. Yeah, that was disappointing, I agree. Also, put the brightness on 5. I don't know why it's not on 5. Okay, so my settings there, my settings, default settings equals high preset plus medium textures plus dynamic res 50 to 100%. Whoa! Jesus! Okay, good start. Definitely verified. Oh yeah, this is what I like seeing. Maybe they made a mistake with the default settings, I don't know. And thank you so much, Spencer Walker, for the 6.66 US dollar donation. He says, Steam Deck better than 1080 Ti confirmed. That's funny because the 1080 Ti doesn't even run the game. That's the joke. Let's put it on medium instead. The background model detail, especially. So let's call it mid-high settings. Okay. But thanks again for the donation. Thanks, man. Yeah, the noise. Yeah, it's due to the dynamic resolution. Oof. Oh, hold up. I think I can do something else, actually. I think I can lock it to 30. Let's see if the dynamic res does something different. No, it doesn't. Okay. On medium also doesn't work. Cool. Let's see the lowest settings. I should have done this from the beginning. Low. It's funny, it doesn't allow me to go to high on the presets. Okay, low preset. Yeah, it looks horrible. But I think it's pretty funny. There you go. Now we're talking. Okay. So definitely is very compromised when it comes to settings, especially the pop-in and the resolution. But hey, it's a PS5 era game running on Steam Deck. By the way, I'm showing you this section because it's the open world. Still not perfect frame time though. But this is hilarious. Let me see if I can tweak something else. I don't know how, but... Well, you can actually put the dynamic resolution down to 33% if you're a little bit of a masochist. 33% resolution, well, it's even softer. So, yeah, I think 50% as a minimum is good enough. Let me try increasing a little bit the background detail and the textures. Just a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Okay. No, I don't think so. Oof. Yeah, definitely we gotta sacrifice that level of detail. But the resolution is rough. Yeah, 30% is near PS1 resolution. Ah man, but if I at least could lower that level of detail, keep, sorry, that level of detail, so it doesn't remove all the grass. I guess that ain't happening. Just to test things, I'm going to go to the lowest settings again. But I'm going to keep it at 100% resolution. Let's see what it does at 100%. This should be native. Okay, native is actually... I was expecting worse at native. Yeah, the fact that it runs is still impressive. But I think I can do something about this, actually. So what I'm going to do... Unfortunately, the level of detail is too much for the Steam Deck. So we're going to increase that texture resolution to medium. Then when it comes to characters displayed, 2 is fine. We're not in a city at the moment. And we're going to keep the dynamic resolution fixed at 66%. I think with 66%, we should be good. So 720p. The thing that actually bothers me more is actually the fact that we don't have 16:10. Yeah, but the frame time is still spiky. Yeah, maybe I went a little bit too far with the textures then. Okay, I'll restart the game. I changed too many settings. But it's very blurry. What am I playing on PS5? Even 4 had issues like that. Fatal error. Don't worry, I closed the game. The game crashes when I hit close. Happened on PC as well. But I love that the message is huge. Sí, Wilson, es correcto. Si no tenés una gráfica Nvidia RTX o una Radeon Series 6000, no va a abrir el juego. Lamentablemente. This is UE4. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm happy it's UE4 actually. So again, looking at the settings that I showed you at the beginning, by default the game is on medium settings with a very aggressive resolution scaling. I don't know why. Sorry, medium to high settings by default with minimum resolution of 50% and maximum of 100. Why they put that as a default setting, I have no idea. I'm happy to see the low resolution font option though. I'm guessing they didn't play the open world. That's my guess. Sí, so do I. Play any old game, these issues won't happen. Exactly. And at that point, we probably, once you're done with the older games, we have a Steam Deck too. Okay. So, yeah, we're on low settings, I already told you. Low settings, 720p. Oh, and I wanted to change my party. My bad. So, combat settings. Change party. You got Assassin's Creed Shadows invitation. I have a contact at Ubisoft as well. They have like a page where you can register and they take a look at your channel. So technically I will have access on day one or a day before. So we should be covered when it comes to Ubisoft games. If you guys make YouTube videos, make sure to send emails to publishers to request games. Else it'll save you a lot of headaches. Headaches or headaches? No sharpening options? Doesn't seem like it. No, there's no sharpening options. But with 66% resolution, I mean, remember that 66% resolution is quality, it's like quality FSR in that regard. So technically, by putting everything on low, with a 30 FPS lock, let me put the FPS lock also. So as I was saying, with a 30 FPS lock, plus the settings, this basically runs like an Unreal Engine 5 game. That's what I'm trying to say. Which means it's blurry. But with TAAU, I don't think it looks particularly great when it comes to the upscaling. Come on, drop. There's no fall damage. Yeah, the TAA on UE4 still not good. It's way too blocky. DLA, sí, si tienes una gráfica Nvidia, sí. Let me see how TAA looks instead of TAAU. It's probably going to look even softer, but it's worth trying. Oof. Oh, no. This is even worse than TAAU. This is like not having glasses on. Jesus Christ. I mean, let me show you super quick what I'm talking about. This is what it looks like. Okay, let me... I put it on TAAU. TAAU is the only option that is worth using, I would say. Yeah, it does a better job. Not the best, especially in motion, but it looks a heck of a lot better than TAA. TAA is just was the linear upscaling. But it works. I was expecting actually locked 50% resolution, but we can actually do 66%. Which again, on Steam Deck is running basically like an Unreal Engine 5 game, but this is Unreal Engine 4.
Deal with that.
Here goes. Why don't you lead the way? All set.
Let me show you, before I continue, let me show you battery life on this. Let me unplug the charger. 1 sec. It's okay. I was expecting worse. After playing it on PC, I was like, okay, this on Steam Deck will be like sub 30 at 50% resolution. The default settings are definitely garbage though. So anyway, as I was saying, this basically runs like a UE5 game. The 66% resolution would be the equivalent in pixels to FSR quality. So it runs a bit better than a demanding UE5 game. And this is the open part, so this should be the demanding section, because we have longer draw distances. But as long as you put it, again, on the low preset, with 66% resolution as minimum and maximum, and a 30 FPS cap, you should be good. I mean, again, it's a game that is blurry on PS5. It shouldn't be running on Steam Deck at all. Am I going the right way? Of course not. Okay, before I continue the open world, let's go back to the beginning of the game super quick. The beginning of the game runs way better, so it's not a good reference. And my suspicion is that Valve didn't go to the open world when they said, oh yeah, verified. Wouldn't be the first time. You have a 3050 Ti laptop, 4 GB of VRAM? Yeah, it will run. Okay, so this part that runs better actually uses, instead of 90% GPU, we're at 80 something. So I understand the settings that they put at the beginning. But if you only play the prologue before the open world, it's a horrible reference.
Everything okay?
Because open world is like half the frame rate.
Of course not.
No, you cannot get 40s. Forget about 40s. Be grateful it can run at 30, like at all.
You'll burn yourself out running like that.
I'm not even
What I'm trying to say is that the prologue is a bad reference. And by bad reference, I mean it's not how the game runs generally. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to unlock the frame rate to show you.
burned out. Not with all the training I've had.
Huh. Guess you really
So with the
are
frame rate
pretty
unlocked,
serious.
with these settings, you might say, oh man, 40 something FPS. Yeah, I mean, true, but this is the beginning of the game. As soon as you hit the open world, this happens. Open world. So instead of the mid-40s, you get 30s. So you lose like 40% of the performance, 30 to 40% of the performance just by getting to the open world. So 40s I wouldn't say is possible. And if it's possible, it's probably at 33% resolution, which at 66% is already blurry, but hey. How is the open world? This is how it is. Any way to remove the top and bottom black bars? I think you could feel the screen. I mean, technically what you could do is go to the scaling modes and put it on stretch or fill. If you put it on fill, you crop the size of the screen, but you use the entire screen.
Go on.
So now you have a little bit of cropped UI, but I mean, it uses the entire screen. So you can stretch it, or you can fill it with some crop UI. Up to you. 34 FPS versus... Okay, interesting. We lose 1 frame by doing this. No, I cannot lower the resolution below 720. That's not an option. We're locked to basically 16:9, and 720p is the lowest resolution you can go. But if you wanted to see it so badly, let's put it at 33%. Why not? Oh man, look at Cloud. Dude, I love 33% resolution. Oh god. So if you're interested in playing at 33% resolution, this is what it looks like. Personally, I don't think this is a good idea. I mean, it works, but you're better off targeting a higher resolution. So yeah, we gotta do compromises to play this one. It's hilarious though, that they allow us to go that low. And if I go native, yeah, on native we're upper 20s in the open world. It looks way sharper like this, obviously. But it's just borderline, it's almost there. If with an overclock, I think we could hit native res. Yeah, being able to see, I think, is the most important thing. But again, all things considered, I think 66% resolution is good enough. Yeah, it's blurry, but you stay at 30 and you can actually see what's going on. And remember that this is, if I do this, it's actually like if I grab the Steam Deck and I did this. So I'm going to make a separate video later today, doing a recording the screen with my webcam, or with my phone, so you can actually see what it looks like on the smaller screen. Don't get me wrong, this looks blurry even on the smaller screen. But I think it makes sense considering it's a PS5 game that is running on a portable PC. Yeah, handheld cam. You know what? I think I can actually do this right now. Let me think about it for a second. No, I cannot do it live yet. I forgot a plugin. I will make a separate video just showing you how it looks in the smaller screen, and use this video as the, okay, pixel peeping mode, to say it in some way. But again, my first advice is you lock it to 30 for stability and for battery life. Like that, plus 30 FPS gap. So, what would be the settings that I recommend? This includes the open world, by the way. Something like this. 66% resolution. This is the equivalent in pixels to quality FSR. Everything on low. I tried cranking up textures, cranking up models to medium to see if we can squeeze any other visual setting. It's a little bit too much. And the anti-aliasing method, don't even think about using TAA. TAA is blurry. It's just basically like having no glasses on if you own glasses. Characters displayed, 2 or 3 is fine, the pop-in will be there. And enable low resolution font. By default, the game is on medium to high settings with a very aggressive dynamic resolution. Keeping it like this, plus the 30 FPS cap, should give you decent enough battery life and at least consistent image quality. So it looks blurry, but consistently blurry, and you can actually read what's going on. But again, this is in the open world. My guess, as I said before, is that Valve didn't get to the open world. The open world is like 2 hours into the game. I purposely came here to show you how it runs in the important moments. It doesn't have FSR, unfortunately. If it did, I'll probably be using that. But we only have TAA and TAAU. So at least if it's verified, please Valve, for the love of God, put different settings. It's fine for the first 2 hours, but after you swap to the open world, it'll just run poorly. It will be like 20 FPS with the default settings on the open world.
Ready when you are.
Oops. Keep doing it wrong. What about lowering the resolution using the built-in SteamOS FSR? That's not a thing because we cannot drop below 720. That's the problem. The game doesn't allow you to go below 720. The SteamOS built-in FSR, you can use it if the game allows you to go lower than the native resolution. Better said, lower than 720. If we had, for example, in the menu 1152 by 720, we could actually use the SteamOS FSR option. That would be cool. But the game is hard-coded to 16 by 9 for some reason. Very high resolution with 33% scaling. Nah, I'm good. I think this is the only decent option to play the game on Steam Deck. You get 2.5 hours of battery on the OLED, at least in the open world. And on the LCD, you should have like 90 to 100 minutes of battery. But when it comes to the worst case scenario, this is as good as it gets, I'd say. May have to finally buy on PS5 and get a portal for handheld play. Well, you can use your Steam Deck as a PS Portal. I have a tutorial on that. So that's an option as well. I played Bloodborne like that. I streamed my PS5 to my Steam Deck. High 20s minimum settings verified? Yes. I assure you most people are not going to notice. And by most people I mean... this is marketing by Valve. Verified means, okay, it's between 20 and 30 and you can read the text. I just wish they spent more time testing it. But if you look at other games that are verified, I mean, it's just a marketing tactic at this point.
So it's my turn?
At least to me now, verified doesn't mean much.
We'll make it quick.
I mean, just think about it. Like some of you guys said, they made a Chocobo Steam Deck. Square Enix made one. It's marketing. And I get it. I mean, what a better way to advertise a PC game than saying, hey guys, it's verified on Steam Deck. That usually tells people, okay, the game runs well. If it runs on Steam Deck, it's probably a good PC port. And it's a better PC port than the previous game. I wouldn't call it verified. But hey. The only reason I wouldn't call this verified also is because the default settings are not good. You need a little bit of tweaking and you can get a better experience. But it's definitely compromised image quality. No, 45, not possible. At least not in the open world. Anyway, let me reload a save. How much time until the Xbox event? 40 minutes. Okay, I think I can do this. Can you check AC Shadow's PC requirements? Maybe later. Maybe after an update and a couple of mods. I think with mods we could make it better, but the thing that I would like them to mod in actually would be what's the name of this? 16 by 10. I'm being able to drop below 720 on the settings so I can use the built-in FSR. Yeah, FSR, I think if they add FSR, it would be, or XeSS even, it would be a better idea. At least to have different options for image quality. Happy to be here, Gnarly Dork. Nice name, by the way. How well do you think you will run against big flashy boss? I don't know. But I believe I was going to say flashy. Jesus Christ. Big flashy boss, probably you'll be fine. It doesn't seem to be super hard unless you're looking into a distance. And again, this part, as you can see, instead of 2.5 hours of battery, it's 3 hours. Well, this is what I was trying to tell you. The beginning of the game is not even close to as demanding as the beginning, although that pop-in is hilarious. That's hilarious. See that thing in a few meters away from me? Dude! But hey, you're gonna make sacrifices, I guess. Now I understand the low setting for level of detail. They went super aggressive with the level of detail because it's the most demanding option.
Get away from her!
Texture popping? No, models popping. Textures are fine. The models are the thing that is more noticeable so far. But again, just think about it for a moment. We're playing this game that is not a PS4, it's only a PS5, a PC, on a Steam Deck on the first day. And honestly, for a handheld, it's pretty decent image quality. I mean, the cutscenes still look good. The resolution, yeah, it's 66% resolution. It looks pixelated. But UE5 games, I had to play at 50% resolution. So technically, it runs similar to what a UE5 game would run. And some people that I see play Steam Deck play UE5 games. I don't know how they do it. My eyes bleed. But it's a big PS5 game playing portably on a PC. Final Fantasy 16 runs worse. And why is that? Because it's another engine. It's a Luminous engine. It runs way worse than this one. Yeah, I mean, the PS4 refuses to die. I still, despite the setbacks that you have to do to get the game to work on Steam Deck, I'm happy to see that it's actually playable. It's just soft. And no, that's not based on a true story. I just wish we had more upscaling options. It would be nice to have FSR as well as XeSS. No, the PS4 is faster than the Steam Deck when it comes to GPU. The thing is, the PS4 probably doesn't have some of the features needed to run this game, I guess. The PS4 is pretty bad on the CPU side as well. It's an old... I mean, the PS4 is old, man. It's pretty old. It's been like a decade. But it runs quote-unquote PS4 games at a lower resolution. Yeah, and here's when the CPU suffers in sections like these. But this makes more sense. There's NPCs. You can actually remedy this by lowering the amount of characters shown. It's on 2 at the moment. But it doesn't really bother me because we're not in combat in this part. Let's go ahead a little bit further. I'd say one tested at 5700. The RX 5700 doesn't run this game. Yeah, the PS4 Pro has a faster GPU than the Steam Deck, definitely. Steam be like, hey, the sale's ending January 23rd. Just kidding, it ends February 5th. Yeah, they baited us with that sale. So you bought the game on day 1.
I met Sephiroth. That's busy, I suppose.
I think they'll add FSR and XeSS with updates. I hope so. Once they do that, I'll be back checking it out.
He's holed up inside the mansion.
But I'm pretty sure that, again, we're getting poor performance because they probably just tested these early sections that are not even close as demanding as the open world. That's my conclusion, basically. Because, again, the default settings is medium to high settings with aggressive upscaling. And that in the open world results in 20 FPS. So I don't know what they were thinking.
Shinra Manor was the biggest building in town, and older than the reactor. The company used to conduct...
Yeah, maybe with a DLSS mod, it's actually... Yeah, if we...
Even so,
That's a good idea, actually. I think that will help a lot with image quality. Because that usually looks better than TAAU.
The whole place is pitch black. You think he's sleeping or something?
What if he's sick and needs our help?
Him? A little Mako poisoning.
Okay, have fun, S-side. Just make sure to tweak the settings as I outlined in this video. And you should have a consistent experience across the board.
Was nowhere to be seen.
I don't think the default settings are good. The default settings are way too high. Final Fantasy 15? What are you talking about? I said 16. Final Fantasy 16 runs worse than this.
Was news to me too.
15 runs way better because it's an older game. It's a stutterfest until we got it on Game Pass.
Excavated from a
Okay,
2,000-year-old.
I'm probably going to try the DLSS mod then. That's pretty cool. Yeah, sharpening filter. We need a sharpening filter. Every game with upscaling should have a sharpening filter. Okay, have a good one. Alright. So as I was saying, final thoughts. I think it's okay. Just the default settings are a little ambitious. So, to sum up, force 66% resolution, put everything on low, anything higher than this drops below 30 in the open world. And that's basically it. By default the game is on medium because the person that was testing the game probably just played the prologue that runs a lot better. Also lock it to 30 FPS. On the prologue you'll be fine, nothing will bother you. The thing is, when you get to the open world, you'll be thankful that you actually lowered those settings. Hey Paradise DK, it's been a while, man. How's it going? Have you tried Last of Us with FrameGen? Not yet, I need to revisit that one. I'm revisiting older games on the Steam Deck, but with this new one releasing, I was like, okay, I have to stop everything and go back to this one. So as I was saying, in the open world, it looks flat. The draw distance is poor. But it's a sacrifice that needs to be made in order for the Steam Deck to hold 30s like at all. Otherwise, no way around it.
Should we be worried about those
If
things?
if the game doesn't look like that,
How can you
you'll drop below 30, especially looking into the distance. I'm pretty sure the low draw distance was made with the Steam Deck in mind.
Only attack while on the hunt or in defense of their territory.
Yeah, the game does perform worse than Intergrade.
Attack without
But
reason.
see that object as an example?
What does it matter?
It
That should be
matters if
rounded,
others can
but
discern
since we
their
lowered the
intent
model
before
quality,
attack.
it should pop
As I
in
gather yours,
very close to the camera.
last chance to back
It's
off.
super aggressive level of detail. I mean, just look at that. I think it's pretty obvious.
That was close.
But I'm pretty sure they did it specifically for Steam Deck. Intergrade runs way better. I made a video on the previous game. It runs much better. I actually play at 45 FPS on the previous game. So yeah, my thoughts is it's actually playable, and I would think it's verified if they actually put less ambitious settings. The settings are by default are way too high.
No time to waste.
So when you get to the open world, you get compromised settings basically. Otherwise, with the default settings, it's 20 FPS.
You know what that metal monstrosity is, don't you?
It's a
But the level of detail is so aggressive,
Narco pumping
it's
Yerba to
hilarious.
the outlying town.
Let me see if medium draw distance fixes it, but that brought me below 30 FPS.
And whatever else.
Yeah, that improves it
You call it a
significantly.
pipeline, but I
The
call
level
it
of detail
one.
is still very poor though,
One that drains
but it's
the
way
planet's
better when it comes
lifeblood
to
into
foliage
shivers
and all
pockets.
that.
Mark my
The
words,
problem with medium level of detail is that when looking into the distance, it drops below 30 more often.
that way we'll really be giving back to the planet.
There's an idea.
Real genius one.
But as you can see, it adds lots of grass.
Very.
The pop-in is less noticeable, way less noticeable. There's more stuff on screen, basically. It looks a lot better with medium draw distance. The thing is, in some parts of the open world, you'll look into the distance and drop into the upper 20s. What settings does the medium preset adjust? I think it puts everything on high with draw distance on medium. But they put dynamic resolution from 50% to 100%, so it jumps between 360p and 720p. But actually, now that I'm seeing it a little bit better, medium level of detail seems to be good enough. Yep. It drops a bit. Hang on, somebody hit the bell. In the meantime, hit the bell for instant notifications. Okay, so guys, I gotta go. There's an Xbox event happening in 25 minutes. To sum up, play on low settings, 66% resolution, and you should be good. Image quality isn't the best, but is the price to pay for 30 FPS on the go, at least on Steam Deck. And if you don't mind some drops into the upper 20s, put medium level of detail, there will be way less pop-in, and you should have a better experience. So, gotta go guys, gotta run. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a few on the Xbox event. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Would I play it on Steam Deck? Yeah, actually I think on the smaller screen it's actually acceptable, but compromised. So, thank you and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.